Hello, everyone. It is me, Danielle J. Mitchell, your up and coming queen of real estate, and I'm here for another episode of Tuesday Tip at 2. Hello, everybody. It is me, Danielle J. Mitchell, your up and coming queen of real estate, and I'm here for today's and this week's Tuesday Tip at 2. And listen here. We are going to get into kind of a part 2 of Investing 101, and we're talking about flips. But you know what I need you guys to do. First, I need you to go here. I need you to like. I need you to share. I need you to comment. As I always say, the algorithm be algorithming. So I need you guys to do all the things. If this is helping you in any way, shape, or form, let me know. Tell me in the comments. Please do not be shy about it. I want to hear. All right. I want to hear what you have to say. Remember, I service Philadelphia, PA, meaning Pennsylvania, and the surrounding suburbs, which should include Delco and the main line. So if you are local and you're interested in buying or selling or have a friend or family member who is interested in doing either, that's where I am. So contact me. All right. Now, let's get into the topic and continuing in this What to Look For series. I want to talk about flipping. Last episode, we talked about rental properties, meaning investments, but this time we're going to talk about property that you're going to flip more specifically. Now, of course, it's not going to be too much of a difference, but I want to go over some very distinct things in regards to looking for a property that you are trying to flip. Listen, if you're interested in seeing my rental episode talking about investment property rentals and what to look for when you're looking for that kind of property, you need to go ahead and check out that episode. Okay. So some of this is going to be a review and a refresher from that episode, but most of it is going to be different and very specific to flips. So what you have to keep in mind in regards to rental properties is that it's very much similar, but also different. And one thing that definitely does not change is how important a location is. Location is everything. As I said before, as it pertains to rental properties, location and understanding the market and everything like that, understanding that economy in that market is so important. So you want to be sure that you have a realtor, maybe me, who is familiar with that particular market, as well as doing your own research to know if that is an area to invest in. Especially, you want to make sure it is an area where you can get the return that you're looking for as it pertains to a flip. Believe it or not, depending on the area, you may be in a situation where you can get a better return on your investment if you make it a rental or if you make it a flip. So it really just depends on when you put together the things I talked about in my last episode, as well as some of the things that we talk about in this episode. It will help you to be able to best determine when looking at properties what it will be useful for. So if you're looking for a flip, if you're looking for a rental, you'll know, hey, this probably will be best for a rental. I can get away with it on this one, and this one might be better as a flip, right? So I talked about location. Number 2 is going to be, what kind of property is it? What kind of property are you looking for? Not only if it's a multifamily or a single family home, but more importantly, how much fixing does it need? Is it a completely distressed property? Or is it one of those properties where you can put a lipstick on a pig, right? You can do maybe put a quick $20,000-$30,000 into it just to spruce it up and maybe get a decent return on your investment. Also, one thing to note when you're looking for the different kind of properties that you want to look for is based on your preference. If you're not interested in doing a huge, scale type of work on a property, then you maybe not want the most distressed and want run down looking property. And that's okay too. Knowing your limitations is what's very important as it pertains to investing your money, right? As it pertains to understand yourself as a person, understand what your temperament is, and understand, what's not going to drive you crazy. when going into investment. So again, really determine how distressed you want the property to look. Some people are like, the more distressed, the better. Other people are like, I don't know about that one, right? Third thing to consider is if you're going to use a hard money lender versus a regular and conventional mortgage. What everybody wants to use is different. So you have to determine what will be best for you in that scenario. Now, hard money lenders, they are, of course, I've talked about this in another Tuesday Tip too. And of course, I would suggest that you go in the archives and check out that video as well. But when you're talking about hard money lending, of course, they can give you the money faster. You can get pre-approved faster. They literally base it on the numbers as it pertains to the project. And so a lot of times it's the better option as far as short-term lending. Now, of course, the interest rates are higher, but again, short-term lending, you can get it done faster. They're not looking at your credit score. They're looking at what the numbers look like for the project. And once you gain a rapport, a lot of times you can start putting down less money, and maybe you can negotiate your interest rate to be less as well. Now, with the traditional lending institution, you may need some more requirements. You may need more business credit. You may need a more established LLC and things of that nature in order to be able to borrow from a traditional mortgage. But it is definitely possible. But again, shop, shop, shop. When it comes to all of these things, just know your options. Look at different hard money lenders. Look at different investor lending programs for you, and make sure it fits your needs. Either way that you go, it's going to work out for you. Do what's comfortable for you. A lot of times using hard money lender is better for some people if you're getting distressed properties, because banks don't want to back jacked up properties. Or unless they have a renovation loan program. So again, just check, make sure, if if you're getting a renovation loan, just check to make sure what it entails, all that good stuff. Okay. Listen, have your contractors lined up. What's that? Number 4, I think it is. Have your contractors lined up. Have a list of contractors that you've already talked to, that you already interviewed. See how often they need to get paid. See how much they want upfront. You can also negotiate how much they get on the project, potentially upfront, right? Now, you may not have your now, of course, you may be thinking, why would I go ahead and check to see about a contractor now? You want to check beforehand because you want to have a few of them in your back pocket so they can go with you to these different properties and give you kind of a good rough estimate on the spot, right? And of course, you gain a rapport with them and all that good stuff. So you want them to go with you. And especially if you're getting a hard money lender, you're going to have to be able to have preliminary numbers in order for you to submit that application to get the hard money loan and get that money for the acquisition as well as the renovation costs. So you want to make sure that you definitely have some contractors in your back pocket that are reputable, that are reliable, and that you can have on hand. So when you need to go check out a property and do a walkthrough and see if it would make sense, they can give you those estimates, as well as when it's time to go ahead and start your project, you already have some options for you to call. Now let's get into a little bit of math, okay? One of the things you always want to consider when you're doing a flip is you may go by the 70% flip rule. What is the 70% flip rule, you ask? Well, let me tell you. All right, the 70% flip rule is where you take the ARV after repair value. So let's say the ARV is $500,000. So after the repairs, this house is going to be worth $500,000 based on the comps, right? Your realtor will tell you that. based on the comps, is going to be worth that much. You take that ARV and you multiply it by 0.70, which equals 350,000, right? So that means that minus repair costs, that may be 50,000. You have a budget to work with as far as the acquisition at 300,000. Another good math equation, if you will, to go off of is you want to make sure that you're getting 10 to 20% off of the ARV, 10 to 20% off of the ARV in net proceeds. Now, let's talk about fees when we're talking about these numbers. You want to make sure that you're incorporating a contingency as far as for repairs. That could be anywhere between 10 to 20%. You want to make sure you're factoring in realtor fees, transfer taxes, any appraisals that need to be done. Are you going to offer seller's assist on your flip? You need to factor in all of those other numbers when you're looking at the 70%, when you're looking at, or the 10 to 20% rule. Okay, so you have to include those fees. And there are some fantastic calculators out there. Some hard money lenders provide them that breaks down your acquisition, your repairs, that has that 10 to 15, 20% contingency amount in there, as well as your realtor fees and, whatever other fees, transfer fees, UNO. Hard money lenders will have a spreadsheet that you can use in order to determine all of these things, so it helps to make it a bit easier. Or, you could always YouTube and go on a different channel and get some breakdowns that will be useful, usually an Excel spreadsheet or something like that. So that concludes today's and this week's Tuesday Tip or Two. Listen, I hope that this helps you. And whether you want to be one who takes on a project, takes on a flip, you want to make sure you have all the information. And most importantly, that you're ready to take that leap, right? So, of course, having your own funds available is important. Making sure you have that. Making sure that you are just mentally ready to even go through with a project. And if you have a team of people, making sure everyone on your team is ready to go through with the project, and making sure that you are creating the team around you where you can be the most successful at what you're doing. One other thing I want to add about flipping is sometimes going through the process and getting a scraped knee is better than not going through the process at all. A lot of times people are so concerned about starting out and then, making as much money as possible as if they're going to make the lottery. And a lot of times it's just important to go through the process, experience it, learn it, and then try again. That way you continue to grow what you're doing, expand, accumulating knowledge, and become the expert investor that maybe you want to eventually become. So listen, I hope that overview helped you. I hope that it made sense. And again, if you're interested in learning more about this, you know what you need to do. You can go down here to book.djmrealtyco.com and schedule a consultation if you're interested in buying an investment property. Okay. If you're interested in buying a regular property and you're going to be living in that place, you can do the same thing. Go right there. And if you are interested in selling your property, you can use that same link. And I hope to hear from you. I hope to talk with you. And listen, remember, there's no place like home. There's no place like home buying. And I'll see you next time. Okay? Bye-bye. Oh, goodness.